In this video, I'm gonna show you how to super easily achieve this cinematic film look. I agree, film look is pretty cool. In the world of 8K resolution and super sharp screens, there's just something really visually appealing in that little bit blurry and toned down nostalgic look. So what is a film look? It's basically just a look where we try to mimic different kind of film stocks from various decades and technologies ago. Sometimes it might refer to 35mm motion picture look, or sometimes it might refer to this really beaten up 8mm home video look from like 50 years ago. Whatever we are referring to, the looks mainly consist of these three elements. Grain. This is probably the most obvious thing when trying to achieve the film look. Film always has some grain, and it might be a little subtle, or it might be that there is a lot of it, but nevertheless there's always some grain. Film colors. Film doesn't have nearly as much color as digital video has, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, reducing the amount of colors and popping up the contrast of some tones is actually pretty pleasing for the eye, and maybe that's why we are still trying to mimic film colors all the time. Imperfections. Film is full of small particles of dust, dirt, scratches, film winding issues and whatnot. Sometimes there's some halation going on, sometimes the whole scene has a weird layer of hue on top of it. The fact that it's not perfect makes it interesting. You would think that the easiest way to achieve this film look would be just to actually shoot film, but let me tell you, it's not. It's really expensive, unpredictable and time-consuming process that actually requires a lot of practical skill and practice. Don't get me wrong, I love film, and if you have seen any of my previous videos, you know that I shoot a lot of film myself. So when the folks from Dehancer contacted me regarding their Dehancer Pro plugin for color grading, I was more than stoked. It's super simple but ever more capable color grading plugin, mainly focusing to create that film look we were talking about earlier. And the best part is that they offer a free trial of it as well, since for sure it is not the cheapest plugin out there, but honestly, it is so good that I can definitely recommend it. And if you are interested in the plugin, they did give me an affiliate code that gives you 10% off, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so what is this plugin about? To put it shortly, this plugin makes your footage look like various types of film and giving you the full control over all the different parameters and adjustments. You start by choosing your camera or profile you shot the footage with, and the plugin will adjust to it. After that, you have a full play field of different controls and settings you can start to work with. It might look pretty overwhelming at the beginning, but actually everything is labeled super well, and all the different sections inside the plugin makes everything pretty easy and straightforward. This plugin should be placed on top of all the other corrections you might have made for your footage, but honestly, most of the time this is the only adjustment you need, which is pretty mind-blowing to me. What I have found to work really well is just to let the machine auto-adjust the original footage and then apply Dehancer on top of it and make the rest of the adjustment there. So let's go through some of my favorite features from the plugin. Number one needs to be the amount of different film stocks that are available. My favorites are the ones that I use in film photography in real life, so Kodak Portra 400, Kodak Gold 200, Fujifilm Pro 400H, and Cinestill 800T and 50D. Film compression is pretty subtle but important feature that might not look like much, but actually helps a lot when creating the illusion of shooting film. You can also choose the grain by film type and ISO, which is super helpful, and after that you can still control the amount of it. The grain that this plugin creates is simply amazing compared to the default film grain effect that most of these apps provide. Very soft, lively and organic. Another favorite of mine is the halation and bloom. These two settings gives the footage that Cinestill-like effect on the bright spots and lit up sections of the footage. Especially in the night shots, this gives out the nostalgic feeling of film stocks without the ramjet layer. One more thing worth mentioning is the overscan options. Slapping this over your film for sure gives you a clear "look at me on film" feeling, but you can actually play with it quite a bit. I like to zoom into it so that the film borders are barely visible on the edges of the video. It's really subtle, but in the long run makes the footage look more approachable, at least in my opinion. Overall, there is so much to work with that you can actually use this plugin to simply make your footage a slightly more, I guess, visually pleasing. or you can go all in and make your footage full-blown 8mm harsh film. It is up to you how much do you want to push the footage. On top of the desktop plugin, Dehancer also has a really solid phone app that lets you create your phone footage on the go with almost all the same features. Check it out. So would I recommend the plugin? Absolutely yes, especially if you are serious about your film game or you just want to have the best plugin out there. It's not the cheapest out there, but hopefully my affiliate code for 10% would help you out a little. That was my quick review on Dehancer Pro plugin. I have been enjoying using it a lot, and I will keep using it for sure in the future videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell.